Welcome to the job search module. In this module we're going to have a look at how we can effectively and efficiently job search, and this will include graduate roles, internships and any of the work experience opportunities you might be looking for. We're going to cover areas such as how to prepare a schedule, how to approach recruiters and how to protect yourself from job scams. One of the main areas you'll want to consider is how to prepare a schedule. Job hunting takes a significant amount of time. So you'll want to identify time to do the following. Know yourself. Know what skills you have. What are your attributes? What are you looking for in a role? What strengths do you have and what areas do you need to improve? You'll want to make time for creating your CV. Is it at graduate level? Does it demonstrate impact? Is your LinkedIn profile up to date and mirroring what your CV says? There are modules that will help with these two areas. You will also want to update your phone message system potentially, so making sure that your answer phone is appropriate, and you might need to change your email address, again if this is not an appropriate one for a CV. You'll want to consider how you're going to stay organised. If you're applying for roles, you need to be able to log each role that you've applied for, what date it was, which CV you sent, when you're going to do a follow-up call, etc. You'll want to consider who could provide references for you and contact them to ask their permission. You'll want to contact your individuals that you know on LinkedIn and ask them for recommendations and endorsements. Understanding and engaging with recruitment sites takes a lot of time. So you'll need to build this in about identifying which are the best recruitment sites for you and then setting up alerts. You'll also want to identify which recruitment agencies you want to work with and spend time contacting them to discuss your needs and wants. You'll need to follow up on each of these contacts, and you'll also need to identify and attend networking events, be that a careers fair, it could be a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, it could be an online event as well. When you're doing searches on the internet, such as Google, you can use part of the Boolean operators to help. So for example, consider what the job, the location and an additional specific factor could be. You might want to use speech marks or apostrophes so that you can highlight key phrases. A minus sign will ensure that a word is excluded from your search. And certain sites will have different website endings, such as gov.uk for all government areas and .ac.uk generally for education establishments. There are numerous job boards and sites available, and these will allow you to identify roles that are being advertised there currently. There are three types. The aggregators will collate lots of different websites and job adverts and put them all in one place, such as Prospects or Indeed. Generalists provide a whole list of jobs that are available, such as Reed or Monster, and specialists will focus only on one type of sector, such as techno jobs. Generally, you'll want to have at least one aggregator, one generalist, and 2 to 3 specialists. Take your time setting up job alerts. By using the advanced option, you can ensure that you get the alerts that are appropriate for you. If you find that you're getting too wide a number of emails coming back to you, or they don't seem to be fitting what the profile is that you're after, change the parameters that you've set. Do not ignore these emails because you are going to be missing out on the right opportunities. Many of these websites will highlight that you can upload your CV, but there are a couple of things to bear in mind. Ensure your CV has been written at graduate level and it's demonstrating impact. If you're not sure, have a look at the CV module. Look at what type of roles are being advertised on that selected job board or job site, and then tailor your CV appropriately. Keep a note of what job sites or job boards you uploaded your CV to, and what date you did this, and which CV that you uploaded. Make sure that your CV includes the keywords that are being used in very similar roles to the ones you're looking for. And then you want to repost your CV at least every 3 weeks, maybe once a month. And this will highlight not only that you're still actively looking, but it will also stop people wondering why you've been job hunting for such a long period of time. We've asked recruiters in particular how they would like to be approached, and this is their summary. You need to find the right recruitment agencies for you, and one of the easiest ways to do this is have a look at the database of agencies. You can do this through Free Index or OnRec. Then you can target your specific sector at the right level for you, so for example, graduate level. You want to call them rather than email. This will highlight that you're proactive and it ensures that you stand out. And be honest and clear and accurate with what you're after, what your skills are and what you would like to do. Many recruitment agencies can provide additional training, so will help you develop the additional skills that you require. Have your own contact method. Make sure your email address is appropriate and you have a phone number. Many recruitment agencies find they are asked to contact a second or third party, such as a mother or a partner. And this way you will get the message quickly. You need to have your CV ready to hand and already updated, and you need to have done a social media check on yourself. Easiest way to do this is by going on the internet search and type in your name and where you live. And that way you can identify any concerns. Any contact you have with them, follow it up with an email, and again reiterate what you've covered, what you're looking for, and attach your CV. At the end of every email conversation that you have with a recruiting agency, and to be honest, probably every employer, add in your contact details at the bottom. And when you've been employed, let the recruiter know. You might end up having to go back to use a recruiter at a later date, and you want to make sure that they remembered you and would like to support you further. Cold calling is a mechanism that will allow you to do a speculative call, see if there's any opportunities on the off chance. It can be unnerving, intimidating, and often will have an outcome that ends in rejection. But don't take this personally. There are a couple of ways that you can help yourself in this. Look at the companies that you want to consider. Are they expanding, relocating, or have they recently developed a new product or service? This might give you an area that you can discuss as a foot in the door. Also identify the name of the department manager you wish to speak to. If you can find their contact details, you can then send them your CV and a cover letter or cover email ahead and explain that you're going to be calling. When you first start talking to them, ask if it's a convenient time to talk. If it isn't, ask them when you can reschedule. Know about this company so that you can chat about their information, their website, and know about their industry news. And it might help here to develop a script. And although you don't want to read from your script, at least it will help you gather your thoughts together and have something to refer to. No matter what the outcome, send them a thank you email. Again, reiterating what you're after and attaching your CV. You can use the the cover letter strategy module to help you write this email. There are a couple of things to consider about what time of day to call. Generally avoid Monday mornings, all lunch times, and Friday afternoons. Mid-afternoon and mid-week slots seem to provide the highest opportunity for you getting a response. Sometimes in job searches, it really is who you know and what you know. With this in mind, one of the areas you want to do is build your network. Ask friends and family to help. Are there any roles that we're aware of? Connect with ex-colleagues or ex-peers, people that you studied with, and attend any conferences, career fairs or networking events. This way you can ensure that you're maintaining your network on a regular basis and you're making sure your network is working for you. Eventbrite lists an awful lot of events on the system that you can go through and see which you can attend. For example, it could be careers fairs, job fairs, graduate opportunities. There might be conferences that you can go through, and some of these are online as well as physical events. Other websites that might be of use are things like UK Careers Fair, thejobsfair.co.uk, prospects.ac.uk. You can also consider approaching your local Chamber of Commerce or Federation of Small Business and see if any of them would allow you to attend some of their costed events as a one-off for free. Often if you explain that you're a student, this can help. For any networking event you attend, you need to ensure that you're prepared. One of the ways to do this is explore who will be attending, research that company and follow them on LinkedIn. Ensure that you've got a variety of CVs tailored for each type of work that you want to do rather than just taking one CV. And you might even want to consider taking business cards. Ensure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date and mirrors your CV. And consider developing your elevator pitch, your 30-second introduction, and we'll cover that next. You want to wear business attire, so as dressed appropriately. You'll also want to consider what questions you could ask to help open up the conversation. For example, what direction is your company going in over the next few years? What changes have you recently seen in your sector? Is there anything I can do to help with this development? You might also want to consider what questions they could ask you and try to prepare some answers in advance. You want to be seen as approachable, polite and professional. Exchange your contact details and then connect with them. And follow up any good leads. You want to thank them for their time, highlight what you were discussing, outline your objectives and provide them with your CV. An elevator pitch is simply a way of you saying to the person you're stood in front of what your intentions are and how you're introducing yourself. Generally, you want to create a powerful first impression within 60 seconds. You're going to be discussing who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for in a clear vision. You will want to consider where you are. Are you at a career fair, at an employer presentation, on Twitter or LinkedIn? Who you are, what motivates you, what your skills are. What do you want? Is it work experience, advice, placement role? Who are you talking to? Is it a recruiter, a CEO manager, somebody from your course or an academic? And what have you got to offer? What is your unique selling point? Within the guide, there is an elevator template that may help you. There are numerous different things that you can do that will help doors open for you. Consider volunteering. This might allow you the opportunity to acquire new skills, build up your CV. Volunteering can be both physical type of volunteering but also virtual volunteering. Where possible, try to volunteer to develop a certain skill that you're either lacking in or links to an industry you want to go into. Find ways of gaining work experience by approaching the employer directly. If you can see how you can develop an employer's opportunity by going that extra mile, that can really stand out. A different way of approaching this sometimes is considering which small businesses are out there and what they might need. For example, could a small business benefit from your skill if you offered them support in, let's say, media or marketing or basic accounting? It could be it's a local charity that you could help or a local school. You might also want to consider how you could mentor an individual or help a company arrange a charity event or an employee event. Sometimes it's easier to gain employment when you've actually got employment already. So consider a temporary role rather than maybe going straight into a graduate employment role. A temporary role also can help you network and again open doors for you. Look at how you're using your social media and ask friends and family if they can act as a referral for you. Help them understand what skills and what roles you're after and see if they can reach out to any of their network. Sadly, there are an increasing number of job scams, so we want you to be mindful of this. There's both identity theft and financial theft. If you are being asked for money for a CV or a background check or a training program, just bear this in mind that it might actually not be a realistic job. You might be asked for personal information, but during the application process, at no point should you be asked for your driving licence, your date of birth or your passport number. You might be asked to call back a company, but double check what the phone number is and ensure it is not a premium call number. There are a couple of things you can look out for. For example, excessive pay. If the role seems to have a high salary but minimal expectation, maybe it is too good to be true and there's something in this. If job descriptions are vague or lacking in requirements, if they're poorly written, or if they minimise or miss contact information, this might just start to raise alarm bells for you. Double check the personal email. Often a company will have a standard format for an email, although if it is a small business, they might simply use a personal email such as Hotmail or Yahoo. We're finding some students are being contacted about roles they haven't applied for, and again this is highlighting job scams. And if you get offered a role without an interview, again just double check that this is a real job. There's a couple of checks you can do. Look at the company website and check if there's a standard email address. Check on the company at Company's House and search the company name scam and just see what comes up. And if you think you've come across a fake job site or a scam, you can report this to Safer Jobs or Action Fraud. Rejection can make job hunting feel like a real struggle, and you will at some point potentially experience job search fatigue. Just try to sustain your belief. You will gain employment. You might just have to be a little flexible in your search criteria. And you are more than this career. You are a whole person, not just the job you do. Be persistent and keep motivated. Find a new skill to learn in the meantime. Find a temporary role that you can do. The more opportunities you engage with, the more experiences you gain, and therefore the greater your network is going to be. Just remember, if it all feels a little too much, find a trusted friend or family member, or come to the Employability Hub and talk to one of us. Problem shared is often a problem halved, and keeping an open mind will be crucial. Sometimes somebody else can just give you that different perspective. So within this course, we've aimed to provide you with tools to make sure that your job searching is effective and efficient. Good luck with your job search. If you're a student, staff member or alumni of University Centre Peterborough, please feel free to contact us on employerhub@peterborough.ac.uk with any questions or any further information you require.